Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Rising Stars 10 special edition of MuayTV. I'm Ezra Regan. This is my co-host, Justin Samaro. And of course, we have once again promoter Rising Stars, Lino Enriquez. Guys, what's up? It seems like it's been a minute.
It's been it's been a minute
almost
for the
3 months
podcast, and then even for the next Rising Star, the last Rising Stars.
Now, I've ran into Lino a couple times, just at fights and whatnot. What was the last one? I think All Out.
All Out.
All Out. We had some guys on that card. That was a lot of fun. And then
Good show, man. Good show that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of good guys. We had a couple guys fighting, a win and a loss. You had a couple of wins there, so that was good.
Yeah, I got the teenagers, a couple of debuts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden and Julian. Actually, Julian's second fight, but California debut.
Mm-hmm.
These kids look strong, man.
Yeah.
Both those guys.
Yeah, they've been training hard. And then the other time was here in Roseville at the PMT. We both had pretty big teams. How many guys did you have fight there?
I don't remember. Probably like 12 or 13.
Yeah, you're bringing an army now.
Yeah, we got a lot of people out there. You know, that's kind of the challenge for us right now as a team is how we can kind of get everybody active. You know, we have so many fighters right now.
Yeah, and then my team kind of reached that size last year where all of a sudden I was bringing 10 to 15 guys each show, and that show was a lot of fun. A lot of new teams, a lot of new fighters, and then I'm bringing my team. They're not very new, although we had a couple debuts. The Teenage Mafia, they're getting ready for Rising Stars. They're trying to push their way onto that card, so it's fun seeing it.
Was there a lot of new people in teams from this area, seeing that it was from Roseville? It wasn't like, a lot of people out of town. Was there some new gyms here that you didn't know about? Yeah,
a lot of the local gyms that have been around a while but maybe haven't had a fight team, now they're producing a fight team. One team I really like seeing at the events now is Marinobles.
Yeah.
And Marinobles traditionally is an American kickboxing gym, but these guys have had a revival. And we saw the heavyweight Bumpus on your card.
That was one worth talking about for sure.
Man, that kid is. People were writing that guy off because he's not a Muay Thai fighter, but he was very adamant. He's like, I'm just a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'll do Muay Thai, whatever you guys want me to do, but I'm a fighter. And my coach, he builds fighters.
I remember
that's how he fought, man.
I was stoked.
Exactly how he fought.
Looking at the roster, and I'm like, Marinobles? What? But I thought maybe it was just one fighter they had out of the camp, but going to the mat fights, you see they have a young amateur team. They're bringing a team of fighters now.
Nate Bumpus, he actually has a younger brother that fights amateur as well, Aaron, and he's really good too.
Did they get a Muay Thai coach there, or are they just kind of adopting or just getting on to Muay Thai promotions? Because it wasn't a Muay Thai fight. Bumpus.
Yeah, but what is a Muay Thai fight?
Well,
styles make fights,
the
right?
donut guy, the
Carlo.
That's Muay Thai.
Says who?
I don't me.
Coach,
just from watching, watching what the teachers from Thailand are teaching, and what our seniors are teaching us, what they learn from people who are teaching them from actual Thai coaches, and it's not to talk down on them. I'm not gonna lie. If you listen to the commentary, I was like, who is this guy? Look at him just mugging this dude. He's not doing anything Muay Thai. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. And then it was a very exciting fight. So, if that's what you're there for, that's what I'm there for, and that's what we're there for, is an exciting fight, and it was very entertaining. But, all in all, it wasn't a traditional style or art of Muay Thai. But, I guess, where are you going with that?
I guess where I'm going with is one of the first events we had, and I was really trying to keep it traditional, and that's what I wanted Rising Stars to be. And I'm not saying that you can't be a certain style or whatever.
Because you did have the fighters have to seal the ring.
Yes,
and
we wanted
that was that was your first fighter that I was aware of, that you kind of let that rule
he reached
go.
out and he asked me, and he was like, you know what, we don't do it traditionally. Is it okay? Is it disrespectful? And I was like, if you don't know how to do it, I'd rather you not do it than to do it poorly.
Totally.
And that was an agreement that me and him had. But going back to that, it's like I remember a mentor of mine, you know, Crew Trey, when he went to one of my first shows, and he was like, "Don't put so much pressure on yourself, to try to find the cleanest femur fighters." He's at the end of the day, is like the femur needs the pressure fighter to shine.
Sure.
You know, the pressure fighter needs the femur
Otherwise, it's
to
a
get
boring
through.
fight watching two technical fighters just dance and look like, you know.
Well, some people love it. I love watching that too. But like at the same time,
I like
it's
a little more action.
You know, like it's fun to watch the Rubik's Cube being solved. You know, and sometimes you put an aggressive fighter in there against someone like Devin Bell, and he had to figure it out. And you know, on that one, Nate had his number. You know, but who knows? Maybe they fight again, and it's a different story. But I think, where am I going with that is like, to me, as long as they're respectful and they're doing the right things, you know, it doesn't have to be super clean cut Muay Thai. I like it.
You know, I guess I got to agree because now thinking about it, like I don't think that I really look anything like Carlo or, you know, I mean, you literally said, man, you're like a tractor.
Yeah.
You know, and then what about Danny Bill? You know, Danny Bill.
Right.
You know,
well, knowing the Marinobles and their lineage in martial arts, they're not going to abandon their style. And they've always been a gym to produce fighters that can use their style, kung fu, karate, kickboxing, and be effective in a Muay Thai rules fight. And I respect that. Also, I've spoken on it in the past. If Y Crew, Ram Muay isn't part of your gym's tradition and style, I don't think you should be forced to do it. I think you can be respectful of Muay Thai in the Muay Thai ring without performing. Now, if it's something small, like if they want you to do a certain ceiling of the ring or 3 bows, I don't think that's a lot to ask either.
Right.
And you are participating in Muay Thai. So to show
point.
respect to the origin, I think is a very classy thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think some of these teams that don't do it classically, I think if we tell them we want them to, maybe they'll study it, right? Now Muay Thai grows a little bit because they're actually researching and figuring it out. But I'm not going to make this guy do it wrong. If he doesn't want to do it, it's all good. But maybe on the next one, he'll kind of study a little bit, and he'll catch up a little bit as far as the tradition goes. But fighting, I mean, hey, you fought great.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining fight. I mean, and his demeanor and his intensity, it made for a great fight. And on the note of, you know, bringing Marinobles into Muay Thai and their tradition of karate and, you know, kickboxing, it kind of is that old school. You kind of just like created that old school UFC 1 where it was like the wrestler versus the jiu-jitsu guy or the street brawler versus the kickboxer, you know, and so you got to, challenge those Muay Thai fighters against somebody who isn't just traditionally a Muay Thai
And
fighter.
Speaking of authenticity and traditional Muay Thai, like in Thailand, this is something that you see there. You know, you don't just see femur against femur Thai style. You do see international styles at Raja in the lower level stadiums, and it makes it interesting. Is your Muay Thai system going to work against a different style? And some of these styles are extremely dangerous. ONE FC highlights that well. You know, you got guys that are throwing axe kicks, spinning kicks, and some of those are extremely dangerous and break your ribs with one of those
And that's
spinning
not a
back
Muay
fists
Thai
or
practice.
back kicks.
But they're fun to watch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And these guys are experts at what they do. Muay Thai has been the dominant style, the king of the ring. But over all the generations, the other styles have been producing fighters that are ready to challenge. And the sport keeps evolving. It's good. But yeah, lots of new talent on the scene, lots of new coaches. Even fighters becoming coaches, and guys starting their own little gym, team out of their garage, and I love to see that. I remember when I was training in the park.
Yeah, Mike Rossi's doing that, starting his little gym over in Stockton or wherever he's down at, and in a gym. So, and he's fighting this card.
He's on the card.
Yeah.
You know,
And you know what?
I love seeing that, Coach. Like you said, it's like you were in the park and I was in my garage, and I love seeing these new coaches go from fighting to coaching and starting that way. I never looked down on it because they looked down on me when I was in my garage.
Right.
You know, but I never looked down on those guys. It's like, man, like, who knows 10 years from now where they'll be.
What they'd be.
They might have passed us up by then.
Right.
And
right.
you know what? Good luck to you guys, and welcome to Muay Thai. You know, and you earn the respect. Remember, you earn the respect and you win the respect on the mats, in the ring, at the fight. And I remember, you know, I was an understudy of Nasser Navaroni and my brother, but that's outside of the Muay Thai realm. I really won respect for myself as a coach, and I did that by fighting the Thai gyms in the Bay Area, Fairtex and the other gyms, and winning at their game in the Thai style.
And
so that's what you want to do.
That's hard. You know, like being a former fighter myself, it's like, that's easy. You can just have talent and fight. Not saying I did, you know, but to prove and to win against other coaches, that's hard because you're building somebody from nothing. It's not like you have your IQ in your brain. You're building somebody from nothing. First day punching, moving around, and they have to go beat somebody. We have these teams out here that man, they're killing it. And there's some that maybe they can't get a win. And they won't be respected until they do, because this is where you prove yourself. So as a coach, that's where you prove it.
It's a lot easier to learn in a gym that has talented fighters, and you get to see what you can become. But you know, when you're just you know, in the garage with a couple of ragtag, you know, students and some kid down the street,
it's hard.
It's a lot harder. But sometimes there's some grit that comes out of those gyms.
Oh yeah, and I think that's one of the main goals. You know, and I know it was for me as a young coach, was winning the respect of my constituents and the older generation, especially the Thais that are very literate in Muay Thai and have been doing it a long time. It's not easy just to pull up with your fighters and beat guys that have been doing it for 8 generations. So we were happy to do that. And yeah, the new coaches, we love to match up with them, you know, and they get to see, like, even though our fighters are both teenagers and they both maybe even go to the same high school, you can see the difference in training and the caliber and how long we've been doing this. And yeah, you got to climb the totem pole.
And it's interesting. I heard you talk about it, I think, recently. It's where the new teams, the new coaches, they'll want to almost mean mug us. And I'm a young guy too, you know, but it's like, they want to, like, show and prove by mean mugging the coaches. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, us being on the scene for a long time in classic Muay Thai style, we don't have to why to them. They should do it to us to gain our respect.
I love when they come in with the new flags and all the jerseys and everyone's wearing the same shirt, and you can just smell, like, the...
And they're mean mugging us.
Yeah.
They're looking at us all crazy, and it's like, you know, you're going to earn your respect somehow, but you got to show a little bit too. And I think sometimes some of those guys are lacking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a, you know, it's the competition thing, right? And it's the puffing up of the feathers, and yeah, you want that. But yeah, you'll see the older generations go up to each other and show respect. And even our camps, we're going to fight. You know, we fight, and it's all in respect. Also, I love to go up to the young guys and compliment them. You know, they don't do it to me.
Right.
Maybe it's intimidating or whatever, but I'll go up to them and be like, man, really good. You know, great job. And
well,
try to just spread that, you know, I can show that.
Love from the elder.
Yeah.
I mean, that means a lot to a fighter when a person, you know, who's known in the community comes up to you and, you know, says, hey, man, good job. You know,
Also,
that recognition, it's words of affirmation.
Also, I remember people doing that to me, too, and that encouraged me, you know, because as a young coach, you're going to have doubts, especially in Muay Thai. It's one of the toughest, most dangerous sports, and a lot of attitude in the room, you know, especially when you're a young, unproven coach. So it goes a long way to give a compliment, and you remember that, and I'm sure those coaches will, too, and they'll do the same thing.
Well, it's also important, like, you know, to start with respect, because then we can, like me and you have, we have guys compete against each other, and then we can go at it a little bit. Like, I thought my guy won. Will you?
Yeah,
and we always end with respect.
No, round 3.
Yeah.
You know, we always end with respect, but we'll go at it and we'll chirp a little bit, and then the next day it's like, hey, what's up, coach? Like, yeah, man, great fight. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Just like football coaches would.
Yep.
And it's in a respectful way. I was telling Chris.
Throwing the clipboard on the ground.
Getting ejected.
Yeah. No, I was telling Chris, we have
bucket.
kind of a coach's line. The coach's line is from like 11 p.m. till about, you know, midnight. and sometimes we'll hit each other up. But yeah, we'll be arguing about the fights, not just our fights, but other fights that have been on Rising Stars. Because, you know, we could be a close count. We'll be judging the fights. But it's all out of passion for the sport and healthy competition. It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean,
let's
again,
argue.
But you can't get that if you're mean mugging and trying to shoulder bump me,
No,
and then
'cause
you're
then
complaining. Then it's like, oh, it's personal.
yeah, totally.
You know?
Nobody likes to see somebody in that like attitude, and then they want to play like let's talk some shit and blah blah blah. You're like, no, dude, you were a dick. You walked past me and mean mugging me. You didn't say like, hey, what's up, coach? Like, you know, let's have some good fights.
And
tonight.
you know, you said earlier you were like the traditional Muay Thai. There's a hierarchy in Muay Thai. It's a very clear-cut hierarchy, from teams to coaches to the gym owner to the students to whatever to the little boys massaging the fighters that are going to be fighting. There's a clear-cut hierarchy, and we're missing that here for sure.
Yeah, that needs to be worked on. There is even in the pad holders within the gyms, like Sitman Chai, you know, Crew Dam's the head pad holder, and he kind of oversees everything. You kind of it's going up, you know, and yeah, you don't have to do much to show respect. Even if you didn't like someone, you didn't like, I don't know, what music they listen to or whatever, you respect what they've done for the sport. How many people they've inspired. Also, how they've protected Muay Thai, and they're teaching it in a caring way.
Well, this is the place
that deserves respect.
And this is the place that you can get that lesson for free, because you better learn that shit now at a young age, or however old you are. You get a free lesson in respect right here in the gym, because you got to learn to respect people who you don't like your, you know, like your upper management and people like your fucking parents and whoever it may be. You still need to show respect because they're providing you something, and whether you may or may not like them, you know, that's just life. And I think, you know, here you get a free lesson in that, and you know, get to learn.
But here's the difference, though.
By getting punched in the face.
When you have a shitty boss, you got shitty employees. When you got a shitty coach, no matter how good they are, if they're a shitty person, you're gonna have shitty students, people that lie, that cheat, steal. You're gonna get that, and it comes from the top down.
Yeah,
that's a great point, because it is taught. You know, that's something, and you know, me and you have talked a lot about it with Muay Love and NorCal Muay Thai and these things about showing love around the community. Yeah, a lot of the toxicity comes from the coaches, you know, and how you're supposed to treat other gyms. You know,
they're the teachers.
You shouldn't like this guy at this gym because this stuff happened, or this fighter did this in a certain fight. It's kind of a passed down thing.
When you're an influencer on people,
or the other way around,
right.
Or, you know, show those guys some respect, or that gym is sick. Like, look at the quality of their fighters. It'd be great to fight those guys, actually. You know, like, that's the kind of vibe you want in Muay Thai.
Well, puts those notches on your belt that you feel like you fought like an actual reputable coach, gym, and fighter. Doesn't really mean shit when you know, walked through somebody in a new club that popped up in town, and they're, you know, they were Taekwondo or whatever, and they come in to do Muay Thai, and they just, you know, it's not even.
This guy hates everything but Muay Thai.
I know, hating right now. Who's the hater here?
Yeah.
By the way, I saw Tyler doing MMA.
Yeah, that's scary.
Tyler
Lloyd.
Yeah,
oh,
he
nice.
was rolling around doing some MMA.
Nah, he did it like twice. He'll pop in there late and kneel on someone and drop an elbow.
It's good he's still training, though.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I like dropped what I was doing and like started like, I was like, hey, throw your hip on the other side. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he's doing jiu-jitsu right now. This is scary. Like, that was the only thing I felt. If I had to fight this guy in a real life situation, that was the only thing.
Now he's catching you up, bro.
Yeah, I know. And now he's doing that. I'm like,
You guys must have been the one day both of you were here last month.
Jeez.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
these guys,
Calling him out.
yeah,
Tell me about it. Yeah. Well, I've been building the fucking goat house. I'm getting goats, and I got
You've been doing all kinds of
got
stuff.
a new. I'm building that. I'm building 2 houses right now. I'm building the house for two customers. So,
Well,
I mean,
know.
like not the house, but I'm doing all the electrical. Actually, one of them, I am helping them do the Red's Bistro or pizza guy down over there. I'm gonna help him.
Well, when
build
work
an
slows
ADU.
down, come back. Start training.
Yeah. I know my brother's in here, so I gotta come in here and make sure he's, you know, piece him up.
Yeah, he could be dangerous.
He could. He looks like Luke, who's the guy who had to drop out? He got yeah. So let's talk about that. Maybe now or later, but Luke Castro or
Luke Castro.
Who's the guy who was the championship? The white dude, tall white guy.
Zach Gramlow.
Zach. I always call
Zach
him
Gramlow. Yeah.
Gramlow.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
My brother looks just like this dude. It's so
it's that tall as well.
Tall,
Jeez.
same haircut, same jawline. They look like a damn near splitting image. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, you know, before we get into the lineup for Rising Stars 10, I kind of wanted to look back. You know, this being the 10th show, the show's come a long way. You know,
yeah, I was.
It went from the Air Force hangar.
Yep.
Right.
No alcohol served.
Right.
Rising Stars 1.
7.
All the way to where we are now. How many fights? Hundreds of fights.
Hundreds.
We've seen how many champions appointed the belt and defended.
I lost. I mean, I have the count, obviously, you know, but I've lost count off my hands. Yeah.
I was just kind of going through and looking at the different shorts you've created for every show.
That was pretty cool. I got something I'm working on because of that. It was cool.
Yeah, it's something else. I mean, you know, I did one show, and I know how it is and all the work you put into to make one show happen. But looking back, coming up on your 10th show, what can you say about it?
It's a whirlwind. It just kind of happens at this point, you know. Like it takes a lot of work. But I was telling one of my young guys, they were asking me at the gym, they're like, Coach, how do you do that and coach? And then you got the family and then everything else you're working on. And it's just what I do. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just what I do. Like, we're thinking 2-3 shows at a time at this point. So we got here by, like, show 7. I was already thinking about show 10. So it's hard for me because I'm like in the storm, you know. I'm sure people outside of the Rising Stars series kind of can get a little bit more of a love or appreciation for it, but I'm just in the middle of it, you know?
I remember after the first show, you weren't sure if you were going to do another or when you were going to do it.
No, I did 2 within a span of 6 weeks.
I see.
That was the first 2.
So maybe after the second one, you were like, oh, I want to take a little break.
No, I did not want to take a break. It was, remember, we did our first show October 29th, 2022. Second show was December 10th, 2022. With the idea of doing one in January. And then remember the commission kind of they didn't know who was going to do the amateur stuff. And then we had to work with CSAC. And then that takes time getting your CSAC licenses and all that. And I really thought about, I might as well just go straight to the pros then. Like if the amateur scene was going to be in a funk, I'll just get my licenses. I'll start throwing pros on the shows. And I don't know, I just kind of waited a little bit. Like, and that was the last time we talked about it, is I just kind of waited and seen what was going to pop up. And then it was September 2023 when this guy fought. That was the third show. So it was almost a year in between.
It seems like a lot longer than that. But then the show just blew up. And then it just turned into something else. You moved locations.
Mm-hmm.
You got together with Track 7, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
Track 7 Stadium.
Yeah, Track 7 Stadium. We have hats coming out. So. I haven't told Track 7 yet, though.
But, yeah, speak on the growth. I mean, what was it like, watching it grow from 1 to where it is now?
Needed. It was much needed. You know, I feel like it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to create a platform to challenge other promotions. I didn't want to be that promotion where we are now. I wanted to just challenge other promotions to kind of take care of the fighters a little bit more, to put on maybe not just the ticket sellers, but put on everybody and give other teams a chance. Like you look at some of the title holders for Rising Stars, they're small gyms that maybe wouldn't have a chance elsewhere. And I was just there to challenge the other promoters on the scene, and nobody stepped up to the challenge. So I was like, you know what? Around show 3, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go all in on this thing, and I'm going to not just give the fighters a great platform, but I'm going to really make other promoters feel that they need to give fighters a good platform and take care of them, or they're going to get washed out.
And you're right. It really was needed. You know, I got an opportunity to jump into the game, and even with both of those shows, both were successful and packed. And Sacramento desperately needed a hometown big card for Muay Thai, and especially after Muay Thai Global, which was so long ago. But yeah, you see the attendance, you see the excitement. You definitely hit what was needed.
I mean, sold out shows since you've been at Track 7, right?
I mean, all of the first two probably would have been sold out too, but that hangar is like 40,000 square feet.
That was a little bit. I mean,
was
and
too
for your
much.
first show,
But
it was huge. I mean,
it was just we needed to get on the board. I think that was
Yeah.
kind of the idea with that one. And those two, if you went to those two, they were super I don't want to call them low budget because they weren't cheap, but I didn't put too much thought into them. It was like good fights, fair matchmaking, and then we'll treat the fighters right. And then after that is when we kind of really went into it way more. But those two were great too, and not to flex or nothing like that, but I hear a lot of promoters talking about how much they lose and this and that. We've been blessed. We've made a profit on every show. It might not be a lot of money, but we haven't lost on any show.
That's a
The
great
support
place to
is
start.
great. People can
really
thank
all
me
you
all
can
they
ask
want,
for.
but it's the fighters, it's the teams, it's the people in the area. I was talking to my fighter Jairus, who's on the card. I was like, we're good, man. We got the Enriquez's and we got all the Northgate beer drinkers. We're solid. We go to Track 7, we're good.
Business is good. And yeah, Track 7, I tell you what, I was talking about it on the last one. It's got that stadium effect. The energy in the room, the lighting, and obviously the beer. But yeah, the shows there have been electric.
The lighting on the last show was great, having the ring lit up.
Big improvement.
Yeah.
Chris was working on that, and yeah,
Shout
shout out the ring crew.
Yeah. Well, I know that's what it takes. It takes the people who, just extra eyes and ears around, and you got a lot on your plate. So, you may see things that you're like, oh, that would be nice to see, and then or hear somebody mention it, but kind of just falls along the wayside, and then you're on to something else. But then, you got a team behind you who are looking at the bigger picture and what you can work on and make better for the next show.
That's the scary part. Is
and
we're getting
you're
better.
flexible.
That's the scary part. Is we're just hitting where we should be.
For sure. I mean, we got a killer. We got an awesome venue, a great setup. You got a live stream platform, which not everybody else has. And I watched Sai's last one, and just didn't. The commentary, guys talking over the ring announcer, you can hear them just quiet it off in the background. And it's those kinds of things that, as we progress, and we're going to get better on, obviously, but it already looks a lot better than every other live stream that I have seen besides bigger promotions than us. Not to say better, but bigger rather.
It's nobody better, Justin.
It's not easy. And
No.
you know what? I watch the other cards too, and I hear the audio, and the commentary. And you know what? We're getting better. But you know what? The other cards have been getting better too, and I give them credit. And then that's what happens with healthy competition. Everyone gets better.
And that's
and
why
that's good for Muay
That
Thai.
means they're paying attention.
That's why
Yeah.
we give off the this one is going to be the first hour. So whatever fights will fill up that first hour, they'll be free on YouTube. So you can stream it and watch our quality, see what we're about, see if you like, what you're listening to or whatever, what you're watching.
If it's worth it.
And then you can watch those big main title fights and just pay a little bit of money, and it's like $25 for the stream.
And
It's a
that's-
great stream.
That's so professional to be able to watch the prelims just like you can on UFC. I mean, that's all you're just copying this, what's already been done.
Right.
It's not like we're
But I
trying to
want
recreate
to.
it.
We don't have to do that. Other streams don't do that. We do that because I want to give people a peace of mind of look, it works. It's clear. You can hear the audio. It's everything. The fights, the matchups are all great. If you have somebody in the middle of the card you want to watch, you've watched the free ones, man, invest a little bit. Help us. People, we have had some feedback make them all free. I can't do that.
No.
It's impossible. You
that's
lose
not
so
what
much
we're
money.
in. We're not. I mean, that's not business. So that's just an unrealistic expectation or just an.
I mean,
ask.
I'd want to do them free too, but it's you can't do that.
Well, then you wait till we're as big as UFC, and then you can buy get us on a website that you can get free shit on.
Yep.
Your buddy,
But pay
your-
for our live stream to get us there first, and then you can chimp out on it and get it for free.
Your buddy's in the audience with his cell phone. He's doing a live stream. Watch on that.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
That's
With the-
crazy. We were
Yeah.
just talking
quality,
about.
or you can pay $25 and get our good quality.
$25. That's you can't even get a pizza for that.
And you can replay it. It stays on your One is on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then you can replay it on the Akaizo stream. So if you got a fight, you're kind of watching, you may be fighting this guy soon. Don't hit me up 3 months later and ask for the video. You could have bought it, and you could have been studying since then.
There you go.
Yeah, that was another thing. It's been interesting to watch the explosion of Muay Media, or that's what I called it. I remember when I got the opportunity with A1, I got the MTV crew together. One of my first crews I put together with Chris, and we went to A1 Muay Thai 2 before I took over there.
You did 3. That's right.
I did 3, but 2 I knew I was going to take over. Let's go to the show. But I brought a media team, and there was no other media there. And then this is just what? This is not long ago.
Well, that's when Sal interviewed
Uriah and the Fossums, and we were just messing around. We had already been doing the podcast, and I'm like, what else can we do? And I was inspired from I was working for the UFC at the time and seeing all the interviewing and the media that they were doing. Also, I had my cameraman. I would come to your show. I would have my cameraman doing a docu-series behind me, and no one else was doing it. And now you go to Rising Stars, there's 10 media people. There's all kinds of videographers. There's people doing interviews, illegal interviews in the parking lot. I mean, it's crazy. I remember when I did A1.
You're going to have to start getting media passes for
we got a crazy team for this one. We got so many people that been hitting me up, and they kind of want to, some just want to kind of try it out a little bit. Some have been doing it for a minute, and they're like, bro, I want to be on your show. And so we got a crazy media team. Content's going to be crazy for this one. So these fighters, you ask, what are we doing for 10? The media is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to ask, so for the 10th show, is there anything that you're doing that's kind of special or different than the other ones, seeing that like number 10 is a kind of I know it's not your 10th anniversary, it's not your 10th year, but it is your 10th show. And we like to celebrate those
The biggest
numbers.
thing is the Muay Media, as Coach says. Like it's the content we're going to be producing with all the different media heads that we have. These fighters are going to get plastered everywhere. We're going to really push the content on this one, and it's going to lead into our next show, and it might even keep rolling into the next one. Like we might just have a crazy media row one day where people are just sitting there and just uploading to different options, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or on their website.
But yeah, it was an interesting thing because that just happened within a 2-year window. And then I remember when we went, people's reaction to it, the camera and the MuayTV microphone. And we only interviewed a couple of the winter championship fights. But yeah, it had an effect. And then people kind of recognized, oh, maybe I can do something there. Maybe I can be a cameraman. Or I had some people hit me up. They're like, Ezra, how do I become a commentator? I'm like, go to school. Watch a lot of fights.
It's crazy how many requests I get. It's like, hey, can you put me in there? It's like, we have our team. I can't just put anybody in there to commentate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing about commentary is it's a skill. It can be good for the fight, and it can be distracting and bad for the fight.
Absolutely.
And watching some of the other fights, I kind of liked All Out. They only had one commentator on the fight, and I forget his name. He's an old pro, but he did good. And it wasn't like he was a Muay Thai expert or anything like that. He just didn't talk the whole time. He knew how to call the fight and kind of explain what was happening. But yeah, talking's a skill. And public speaking. One reason I can do it so well is I've been teaching on the floor at the gym for 30 years, and then also it kind of runs in my family. Banter. I've always been kind of known for it. When I was in London, I ran into a bunch of guys that had it. Like here, when I'm chatting people up at the gym, a lot of people just look at me. They're not quick on their feet enough to get involved. But I ran into some guys in London that could give me a run for my money, and that's what you need, like, to do commentary. Do you do commentary in your normal life? Like, can you crack jokes and again, it's a skill. And then watching the Muay Thai fight, it's a detailed thing. Even that, like, as a coach, I'm used to dissecting a fight. I'm watching the guys breathing. I can see exactly what's going on. That's a skill in itself too. You got to have these basic skills to be a good commentator.
And you got to know what the biggest thing I've learned on commentating is knowing when to talk, when not to talk, and basically when to shut up. Because a lot of times people want to say, chime in on what they would do or what, kind of just talking to fill in the gap. But what you've definitely taught me is like let the fight do the talking. People aren't. You don't need.
I know enough to know that I'm bad at it, bro. And they probably don't mind me, but I'm just like watching and they're just like, And or there was one time when me and Billy were commentating with Coach, and me and Billy are just like chatting, and I can just feel you looking at me, waiting for us to shut up before you start.
Billy likes to talk
great.
A lot, dude.
Well, Billy's good though.
He'll talk a lot
because Billy's giving like the fighter perspective, and then Coach is giving like the play-by-play analysis, and Brandon's giving you like the detail, like this guy trains at this gym and this out. I like that team, but for me, I know I'm not good at it.
You got to have each person having their knowing their position
role.
and their role. So then they're not just they know when to like come in with color or let so and so talk and do the play-by-play, and then when the announcer's up there, don't talk. When not to talk, because then it's the worst. I was watching the one with Sai, and the announcer was up there. And so-and-so's coming up. They're from this gym, 142 pounds, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just hear, like, in the background, the guys just blah, 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 blah. And it didn't, you're like, if they knew that was going on, maybe they wouldn't have been doing that. But nobody told them, or they don't watch it. And,
You got to start somewhere. And I remember I kind of fell into it because I did my own show. And I had to put together my own commentary team, so I did like you. I used my team, and okay, you guys are good talkers, but then I sat down. I wasn't even planning on it, Lino. I just sat down on my own show, and then boom, I could kind of do it. And I kind of worked myself into that job. Other people heard it, and they're like, even old boxing people that I've known, they were listening, and they're like, Ezra, you did good at that. You should do that again.
You did.
So it encouraged me to do it more.
I sent you a text that somebody sent me at one of the prior shows when you did the last show when you didn't commentate. Somebody was like, they're a cousin of one of my students, and they're like, yo, where's that Ezra guy, man? Like, I want to listen to him.
Yeah,
you didn't commentate the last show though. You had fighters on the card.
Well, I'm glad a couple people miss me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Rising Stars 10. And with the commentary, when I decided that I was going to do that, I'm going to start working on it. Like you said, we're getting better at it. I've always been a fan of it though. Horse racing, auctioneering, any kind of public speaking. We mentioned baseball before, but forget baseball. I've watched more boxing and Muay Thai and like Thai Muay Thai. You'll notice I make some of the noises. I studied the noises of the Thai commentators because they're some of the best. When's the appropriate time to use the ooh-wee? Or it's like that goes with the scoring of it. But man, you can't blame me for being biased. Like if someone keeps landing the knee and I call knee, it's going with the entertainment. If there was nothing being landed, I wouldn't call for it. But yeah, it's just adding to the spice.
Yeah. Yeah, the Thai commentators are really funny because you don't know. You don't speak Thai, and so you hear like the little things, the wee, knee, and they're just
it's great.
The Asian culture is very animated and enthusiastic. It's great. It's really fun to hear.
Yeah, there's a bit of comedy to it.
Where the Americans are more like this, talking like this, and a little more stern or deep voiced.
But yeah, the Muay Media, awesome, and yeah, showing the public the sport and doing it in the right light, that's the goal with the media. Right. That's one reason, I stepped up to the plate, and we've been doing more in media is we care. We care about how Muay Thai is going to look. And, the more media, the good media we have at Rising Stars, the better for the sport.
And for me, there's no, like, competition there. I know there's other media outlets that want to be on the show, and I'm not telling you can't do it. But if I have 2 or 3 people doing what you do, you get in the way. And maybe if you would have hit me up a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier, they'd be on as well. So it's not like it's competition where I don't want you, but I do want you. Like whoever hit me up and whoever got the chance to be on, that's who's on. Otherwise, we're just stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
I hate when I look over and I got 3 different camera people in the corner. Because that means the people behind you can't see shit.
Right.
So I can't just have everybody there. So if I tell you, like, hey, can you do like a highlight video of the show? Just walk around, get the backstage, do that. You know, if you want to do interviews with the winners, do that. But we can't have everybody doing everything. So it's not like I hate on people. We can't.
Just like a big show.
It's just like a big show.
And it exploded. Yeah, it just takes the learning curve, right?
But it's hard for you to be the one to tell people.
It is.
Yes and no, because you have people who they feel they have a personal connection with you, and which is one of the hardest things about like growing into something that you are being successful at. People want to come over to you and ask you for, can I get on this? Can I do this? It's that classic rapper lyrics. It's just.
But you know what I have done after talking to Chris a little bit, because he does the big shows. I have my brother he runs everybody that needs to talk to me about fights or gear, whatever they need for the show, the fighters, the teams, they talk to Chewy. Chewy does that. The front of the house, like tickets or anything else, my wife, talk to her. Don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
Then merchandise and vendors, that's my guy Julio. You got to talk to him. Nobody should come to me unless the house is on fire. Don't even ask me anything. I want to sit here and enjoy these fighters, and I want to watch them fight. So I've been getting better at that too. Instead of me being the asshole, I'll let them be the asshole.
A few moments later.
Well, we're back, and we had a little audio difficulty, and we're back, and I think we left off on the media. I wanted to shout out the original Muay Media for Rising Stars, and it has to be Big Boss.
Big Boss.
Big Boss, Muay Thai Photo. And he's been there since the beginning. And I know he's inspired a lot of guys to get involved.
Nice dude.
And I remember I brought Chris to the show, and I'm like, Gabe, it's all good. We do video.
Yeah.
We're going to do interviews and commentary. And I love how you've kept.
Gabe's my guy, man.
Yeah, I love how you've kept Gabe and stayed
I used
loyal.
to have to talk to him like that. Like, hey, bro, I thought he would trip. He's like, I don't care, man. As long as I got my little spot over here, you can bring whoever. Because we got our guy Alan and Devin, and they do a great job too. And Gabe's never cared. He's like, I'm just doing my thing, bro. Like, bring whoever you want. As long as they're not in my way, I'm cool.
There definitely is a competition thing, and me and Chris have talked about it. Chris working in photography and video, not just in fighting now, but in the music scene. And man, I don't know. Are the media people more competitive than the fight teams?
Probably.
Like they feel like there's not enough for everyone to shine. Because I swear, I'll run into some of the media people and we'll talk about it, and they've never even heard of MuayTV. And I'm like, it's on the ring. Like, obviously you've heard about it, but the interaction on social media, like we're not friends or anything like that.
It's like the ice cream truck, It's like the food truck. You're like, what are you doing in my parking lot?
Well, you know what was funny before, and why
my customers.
Me and Gabe have been tight, and I told him when I did my first show, you're my guy, bro. As long if you can make the show, you're my guy.
Yeah.
Because before, there used to be this weird thing where, like, the promoters wouldn't pay for the media. You would have to pay to get a spot on. You'd pay me, and then you're selling all the photos to all the fighters, and they're fighting over who can sell more photos. And me and Gabe just kind of came up with the number, and it's like, look, I'll pay you this. Can you give me all the photos? I'll give them away for free. And not everybody's doing that.
It's evolved a lot. I remember when we used to fight, I would hit Gabe up. I would message him after the show, and I'd be like, Gabe, I'll tip you. Give me my pictures first. Because you would have to wait.
He tells me
for a week. It would take a week and then the momentum, the excitement is gone. We want to show those pictures like the next day. I do the same thing with Chris. I remember when I got married, I had my official wedding photographer.
Oh, you were one of those guys.
Well, Chris came in. I had my own personal photographer, and Chris took the best pictures.
Oh, cool.
Also, he gave them to me within a day or two after, so we could actually have them there. And,
those are the ones you've always reposted too. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
they've
beautiful. Always been.
Have you guys seen that? I don't want to say new guy, but he's one of our newer media guys, Lock Knight. He's coming from Reno. That guy, man, his quality is great. I don't want to compare it because art is art. It's to be enjoyed, not compared, right? But
is that the guy who's been doing your videos for Jairus?
No, that's Dr. Noguchi, my guy Devin Flores. Devin's great too. Like Devin, he has his own little style too that he does. But Locke comes from the Hard Times team, and man, this guy will send me a video like in a day of the event. He'll send it on Sunday. I don't even have enough time to get it together and post it. But he's killer, man. His shots are great. He sends me a whole Dropbox of the photos within like 2 days. And the media, like you said, they're not. I don't think they're competing against each other on Rising Stars because they all have the same platform. But to get the photos out, they're killing it.
That's the competition now. Is because they want to get their photos out first, and if the more popular fighter gets their photo out first, that's who they're seeing.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Locke, and I saw him at the South Lake Tahoe show. He shot some great pictures and did some video up there. Also, I know he does some long format documentary style stuff on YouTube, which is really cool. So he's more of a film guy.
He's great, and he
great,
has that
great editor.
He has that film style.
But I seen him.
Dark,
He's another guy. I seen him in the back at the last. Maybe he didn't recognize me, but I stick out. But man, I couldn't get a high five from this guy. Next time. Also, I was given our house photographers shit because they didn't get any pictures of the commentators. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Our own people took some, but yeah, we were like, "Are we in the show?" And we are. We're there for every fight.
Should we be in like black button-ups? Like,
Nah.
No,
I mean, if you want to.
No, I don't.
What do you got? We got
always-
Cinco de Mayo coming
I'll
up.
wear my black
a mariachi
cowboy hat.
suit.
I don't know.
No, I always thought that was dorky. That's why I don't do it. Like as a promoter,
I hate black button-up shirts.
I don't even want to dress up. Like I'm wearing the same blue jeans and Chucks all the time. I don't want to dress up. It's a show. The fighters are on display. It's not me wearing a suit. I think that's kind of dorky.
I dress up, but I'm a huge dork.
There you go.
No, but you know what? I just wear what I normally wear. If you want to call it dressing up, it is. But that's just how I am.
Yeah, nice pair of shoes, some slacks, and a
Well, yeah, I'm almost.
T-shirt and jeans.
and a
That's
t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I have jeans. I have shoes.
We see
but
your jeans. You post them online.
It's Chrome Heart jeans.
Wranglers. Nice.
14,000.
What the hell is
Jeez.
that?
Wait, what?
He posted some jeans on. You follow him, dude? Like he's always posting stuff like that.
He doesn't.
Gucci
No, I follow
jeans.
you. You had $14,000 jeans.
No, I've been pushing Wrangler, and the Wranglers I got at the Arco Arena auction were $7, and that was the best part about them. And they're super cool. The high fashion houses are copying that. But the Chrome Hearts, this is a brand that a lot of the high level athletes and the rappers are wearing, but I don't know why I got advertised on my social media, but they had a pair of their jeans and I posted it today. They were $14,000.
What?
And then yesterday I posted Gervonta Davis had a Chrome Hearts gloves and a Chrome Hearts heavy bag. How much does that cost? Probably
crazy.
free, huh?
I was
To
gonna
him,
say
it's
free for him.
But it's just like this.
But that's just the logo. I mean, the leather's what the fucking it's the same.
It's branding,
What is some
man.
American
It's their
leather?
brand.
Or
It just doesn't make sense. It's like clothes for this upper epsilon to just make all the other kids in the
wacky
neighborhood
leather.
just feel terrible because it costs more than your car.
Oh, what is sheep? Do they make any sheepskin bags?
I'm sure they got everything.
Have you ever had sheepskin gloves before? You
No.
can buy
You
them at
like
Home.
'em?
Yeah, you can buy them at Home Depot. They're like
They're really soft.
It's a
Oh,
lot,
you're
it's-
talking about like the gardening glove type shit, right?
Yeah, it's like just like a you get the leather gloves that are yellow, but you can get the white ones that are sheepskin. Anyways, it's really soft. I feel like not to be a little bitch, but I don't know.
This guy.
I know, right?
But yeah, wear what you want. I always thought, when you go to the fights, it was a more special thing. Even when I work the corner, you'll see me cover my legs.
Yeah, I tell
I'll
my
wear
guys
pants.
that I try to tell
wear
my
some pants and
corners
shoes.
you should wear closed-toed shoes and long pants. Doesn't matter how clean or what kind of like brand you have, but you shouldn't wear shorts. I used to do it a lot. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking like shit out here, wearing a tank top. Like I should be the one fighting next. No.
And the fighters are the main spectacle, but all the other people in the show are part of the show. The ring is part of the show. The ring, how the ring looks. The referee, Rinaldi. The people at ringside, the commentators are part of the show, and that's why I was pushing to move us up right by the ring. People see that, it's all part of it. Sometimes when they're sitting close enough, they can hear us too. If they're not watching it from TV, but yeah, the Muay Media, it's awesome, and yeah, we're gonna get better at it, and I'm gonna still high five the other media guys. But Lino, can we go into the card? Rising Stars 10.
We got a great one, man.
Let's get into it.
I'll get into it. Let me go over. I'll go over the opening bouts and then the closing bouts first.
All right.
And then we'll kind of hit the title fights in the main card in the middle.
Okay.
And I won't go too in depth, not because I don't love you guys, but we're on a time crunch here. You know, if you guys want one to talk about, you guys can throw it in there. But opening bouts, as of now, this is the bout order. Bout 1, Javier Gonzalez from 8 Limbs, Muay Thai Lao. He's fighting Logan Oliveira. These are debuters, but they're not going to fight like debuters. I've worked, I don't want to say worked, I've sparred over there a little bit and kind of did some play sparring with him when they had a sparbecue. And Javier's, he's game. I've seen him fight in the PMT circuit. And then Logan Oliveira over from the Wild Boys team. Man, they bring it. They've been training for a while. They're debuters, both these guys, but they've been training for a minute. I'm excited for that one.
I like that gym name.
Yeah,
Wild Boys?
Wild Boys.
Badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
sick.
Jeremiah and then Will Velasco are coaching over there. And then bout 2, women's bout, we have Danny Anderson. She's from my team, and she's fighting CC Sai from Omni Movement. They've competed before. CC was supposed to fight somebody else, and then she had an opponent withdraw. And so I asked Danny, I was like, you know what? It's a little bit above your weight class. You haven't been training for it, but if you want to save her fight, you want to jump in there. And she agreed. She's jumping in there. That's going to be an amazing fight. Their first match on the development scene was great. This one's going to be good, too.
Awesome.
About 3, we got Matilda. She fought on your show, actually. Man, I love watching her work. Tall, lanky, right? She has long legs. Sniper, I call her. She's over from CMA, Dave Engel's gym.
Savocia. Matilda Savocia.
I wasn't going to try to butcher
she was
that,
good.
you know.
She was good. I know she had a couple losses, and I believe she got married. So she's been on a little bit of a hiatus. But now she's back, and great to see her. Good femur style. I remember the left leg, and
and
Dave.
We talked about her earlier, though, too, but she's fighting Edna Camacho. And if you've seen her on the PMT circuit, she's a firecracker.
Edna,
man, she comes forward. She's a little bit shorter, but you're going to see that femur versus the
pressure fighter.
The pressure fighter, and it's going to be a great fight.
That's awesome.
Edna's training at a Legacy in Brito MMA, so we know their style. They're going to come forward.
What weight is that?
That's at 118. So I think Matilda's coming down, and I think Edna's going up a little bit, just so we can make it happen. About 4, you hate this guy, Daniel Perez, my heavyweight. He's fighting against Joaquin Duenas from Team Maish. And that's a great fight. Heavyweights that don't move like heavyweights.
Are those the big guys that the heaviest of the?
That's the heaviest fight we've had on the show.
Okay.
But they're not going to move like it. We've seen Joaquin for a long time at the MDLs. He's got a couple of amateur fights, and man, he brings it. Very fast hands, good movement.
I love watching those.
And
big guys
my
fight.
boy Danny as well. Like Daniel, I've been training this kid since he was 14 years old. And he's
I like Danny a lot.
I
And,
know. He fought against Troy.
So Danny and Troy did the main event at the Alpha Male PMT, and it was like the main event. It was at the end of the day. They were on a 10-0 run, going for their undefeated day, and it was us. It was our heavyweights, and it went all 3 rounds, and it was a banger. And I was like, no, they didn't win. Lino was like, no, we got it. Troy would have loved that on Rising Stars. Maybe down the line.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a great matchup.
I've got Danny coming down in weight, though. So this is at 235. He's walking like 240 right now. I want him at 220. If I can get this kid at 195, 200 pounds, he'll be a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Solid,
I don't want to blow his head up too much.
But I said hi to him at the PMT.
He's a good kid, man. Great kid.
I think it's all good. But
he's
all love. Yeah.
Make sure Troy's sitting ringside for that. About 5, we have Billy James. He's he has his own school, Modern Warrior, out in Turlock, but he trains with Shannon Albrecht at the American Top Team Tracy. Then he's really good, sharp. I think he has a karate background, but his Muay Thai is really, really good. And he's fighting, man, one of my favorite guys to watch, Raj Soni. He fought Daniel Gonzalez in RSMT10, and Raj is firecracker. That's a firecracker right there. That fight is, I don't want to say it's fight of the night just yet because we have some good fights coming up, but that's going to be one to watch for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Sonny is one of my favorites as well. He's a little unassuming. when you see him, he looks like a very regular guy, and just the ferocity, the pressure, the building through the fight.
Is he a returning fighter on any of these?
Yeah.
He fought RSMT10.
Okay.
And
and I remember him
lost
in
via
that one.
split. Lost via split, but it was close.
Was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He finished so strong.
Mm.
And not like he started slow, but he just kept on just hammering.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to need that against Billy James, because Billy is good too. But, it's going to be like I said, we'll see where we end up. The first hour is going to be free prelims, but that one should be on the pay-per-view. So if you want to watch that fight, get the pay-per-view. And then returning fighters, we were just talking about that. We got about 6. Luis Saravia, he's from Sitongsai. He's fighting Michael Cross. Bowl cut,
Yep.
Yeah. What do they call him, the bowl cut virgin or something, Muay virgin? But, Michael Crisp Cross, he was adamant about getting back on the show. He's telling me to put him against the toughest, biggest, baddest, and I couldn't do that to him. I couldn't put him against some crazy pro, but I watched Luis Saravia fight on the All Out show we were on, and he looked amazing. So I think that match makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. That last one, he put on a good show on the last Rising Stars 9.
Saravia, I hear he's a Taekwondo expert. Like, he's a very high-ranking black belt. I remember at All Out watching, and I don't know. It was like his first. How many fights does he have?
He has 2.
It was his second fight, and his control of space and timing, and he was just using his back leg kick, and it was like he had 30 fights.
Fast kicks.
Yes,
fast,
and
fast.
just like, even though he doesn't have those Muay Thai fights, he probably has 100 Taekwondo point fights, and the kicking skill is there. And what Josh has done in tuning those weapons for Muay Thai is really impressive. Mikey, great kid, super game, and he just wants to put on a show.
Tall. Kid. So this is why
Long
I love.
and lengthy.
That's why I love that matchup. Is you got Luis's speed versus the range of 6'1" Mikey Crisp. So it's like, who's gonna get off first, right? Like, that's a great matchup. Also,
the strategy. I mean, Mikey's going to come for the elbow and the clinch. I mean, he has to against the Taekwondo. But, the Sitongsai guys are good in the clinch and drilling that big time. So, yeah, that's going to be a banger.
Banger fight. We'll go into our closing bouts. We'll leave the main card for later. But these, I believe all of these closing bouts, there's 4 of them.
So, so after that fight, the main card with the title fights.
Intermission. And then the main card. These are the last 4 fights.
This is the end of the show.
Bouts.
Okay.
But these could be great fights anywhere else. I believe these will all be no shin guard fights. These guys all have some experience.
Awesome.
Speaking of experience, about 13, we have Kenneth Carthen. He's coming to us from Jason Joseph at MTM. And he's been around for a long time. When I was first fighting, I met Kenny back in 2010. And sharp fighter, took some time off. He was on show 1 actually against Jarris, and he already had experience then. 14 amateur fights, making a return after a knee injury, and he's going up against Alex Stowe from Vital Force. And Vital Force, man, does he build great fighters, man. They're strong fighters over there, and like I said, 14 fights versus 12 fights. Like, that's an experience.
That's good amount of experience between
the
two.
That's going to be a great fight to watch. I wanted to put them a little bit later so I can just kind of chill and watch them fight too.
I love to see, besides the title fights, I love to see those amateur fights without the pads. Just that level of experience. They have over 4 fights, I believe it is, in California now, right?
Over 3.
Over 3, no pads?
Yep.
Yeah, that's always great. It changes the game a little bit without the pads on.
Yeah.
And then we have about 14. Another one, this is a banger, man. This could have gone anywhere on the card. Hunter Posey. Posey, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but he's from Omni Movement, Stephen Chow. 5-2 record, just went over to USMTO when he cleaned up. He won the B-class title. He's been on the show before, and he's fighting against Yuri Duber, who was just on the last show. And he won on that last show against Wrath. He's over from Elevation MMA in Truckee. And so you got Hunter, who was tall for the weight class. He's a strong fighter going against Yuri, who's like a machine, man.
Yeah, dude, that guy from Truckee, he was good.
He's a machine.
Yeah,
He's
he was
good,
really
good
good.
technique,
Yeah.
solid left kick, and he'll come forward the whole time. So I'm really excited to see how that one's going to play out.
Yuri, I talked to in the back a little bit, and he's an interesting one. It seems like a very experienced guy. Did he lose on your last card?
He won.
Oh, he won.
He won.
It was a bloody fight, I remember.
No. I think you're thinking about.
That was the elbow.
That was Dara.
Yeah.
That's Josh. My bad.
That's Josh's guy.
Yeah.
No, Yuri won his fight, and it was a good fight, good back and forth, good technical fight. He's been to Thailand and trained out there and stuff. It's a great fight though. About 15, some of you may remember, is Edmund Yee. Edmund Yee.
Oh no shit, Edmund's on.
Yeah, he's making a return
I fought
to Rising
Edmund
Stars
on the Rising Stars 3.
And I really like this matchup. You know, he trains over with Rakarma at CMT. He's fighting Ethan Wang from the Hard Times team. Like, this is going to be one of those femur, but guys that can go forward a little bit too. They can both work the clinch. They can both do everything. And that's a great fight. I really want to watch that fight.
Edmund's been on a little bit of a losing streak too. But he's still.
No, he won his last fight. I believe.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit before that. But I want to know, how many times has Edmund fought on Rising Stars? This is his 5th one, right?
No, I think this is his 4th.
Because we fought him 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Brian,
Brian,
you, and then
Josh.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Rinker.
Yeah.
Rinker went over into the MMA circle, but yeah, that was early. I believe that was Rising Stars 1.
Rising Stars 1.
Yeah, that was the first one with Encho.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's come down a weight class. He's at 142 now. He fought Brian at 142.
Yeah.
Fought me at 142.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because he was at 47. Yeah, that's a great fight. And then about 16, this fight, I hate to do it to guys because nobody wants to fight last, but you guys are going to eventually be main events somewhere else. You get used to it, you know. But Kai Sen Jen from MTM.
Mm-hmm.
I like that guy. He's a strong fighter, but he's fighting Alex Toda from Evolve, another strong fighter. Both of these guys excel in the clinch. This is where I've seen them fight the best. So, you know, that can mean one of two things. They're going to clinch the whole time and make the best clincher win, or they're going to avoid the clinch and they're going to fight from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited to see how that one plays out. Both coming from gyms. Alex coming from Evolve. Mark Tabuso and Aaron Nivara. They're very calculated. You know, they go into these matchups with the game plan, but so does MTM. So we're going to see how that one plays out.
We fought Alex.
You did.
Andrew. Batman.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Okay,
fought
yeah,
him.
that's who you fought, huh?
And well-rounded, good athlete.
Strong.
Yeah, that was a hell of a fight.
He's come down 2 weight classes since then.
Oh, wow.
So strong, big guy.
Yeah. No, I know he didn't lose any momentum. We got the win that day, but I saw him right, a few months later at the USMTO, and he's just been fighting ever since.
Yeah, it's a great fight. Great fight.
Where was that? Him versus Andrew.
Track 7. I think it was
RSMT10.
7.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Was it?
It was 5. They had the gold shorts.
Yeah, the gold shorts.
Yellow and
Damn.
You get, the whirlwind, I'm telling you. So,
What are you real quick? What are you gonna do with the shorts? Are you gonna put it all in all 10 of them in one big frame?
I'll probably have to get some remade because
You didn't keep them all.
Julio, my media or my what I call my merch manager, he didn't save some for me. So the last 2 shows, we've kind of sold out so quick. I don't get a pair of shorts.
Bummer, okay.
But my guys can make some more for me.
One of our guys was
I got some
talking
for you.
about
I have
finding.
those.
I have those.
Is there someone out there that has all of them? Like that has collected
Yeah,
them?
man. My guy,
Ooh.
Danny Phillips.
He has
he's-
all.
And I think he gets both colors every single time.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
that's cool.
And if he doesn't make the show, he'll have somebody else buy them for him. And he wears them to train and shit.
It'd be cool if you did do the all 10, and then once you got to every time, if you were wait to get the other 10, and then you could fold it in half in the other one, so it'd be 1 with 11, and you get half and half of the trunk.
I can do
I
it.
don't know,
My guys will make it. If I send it out and tell them to do it, they'll fucking make me extra ones. But that is something cool I'd like to do.
Yeah.
If we can eventually, maybe when I get a bigger gym or build a stadium or something, to kind of put them out.
Sure.
We'll see.
Build a stadium.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I've thought about
that's
that.
tight. I
Like
love
maybe
that.
even have a gym that's a little bit too big, but you're paying into your stadium.
Ask your mom.
That's a
We'll put it
great
on the
idea.
property in Penryn.
Let's
do
go.
it.
Let's
Outdoor.
Go. Or we'll buy the Newcastle one.
We need an outdoor show.
Yeah, the Newcastle one's still sitting there. It's kind of up there, but anyways, to the championship rounds.
And not all of these are championship fights, but we have a super fight in here that everybody wanted to watch.
And
So
I got to know, what does that mean?
It just means a fight that everybody wants to watch.
Okay.
Man. A fight that's it could be Could have easily been a title fight, but we have a champion in this weight class, so maybe the winner of this one can challenge Malik, But again, just a fight that a lot of people have been wanting to watch. So I put it in the middle as a super fight.
Okay.
But we'll start with bout 7. The hometown advantage that we get is Jairus is for my team. I need their hands sometimes to help me with the show, so we try to put our guys as early as we can. That's the hometown advantage that main event gets. And it may not be an advantage because by the end of the night, he's helping me put chairs away. So, so it's like we get him out of the way early, but I'm going to need your help, Jairus. So bout 7 is Jairus Beecham for main event. My brother's cornering on this one.
Shout out, Jared.
He's fighting Alex Veliz. This is a rematch. They fought on Rising Stars 2. They both kind of jumped in on short notice because everybody was getting sick around that time, and we needed to fill in a couple spots. And Jairus lost by split decision. Maybe I'm biased. I thought Jairus won that fight. Other people told me the same thing. Obviously, Alex did a great job. It was a great fight. So we get to see him do it again. And now these guys have gone on, and I know Alex is he's placed, I believe, in the tournaments, the WBC tournaments, and then Jairus is a 4-time champion now. So we're going to see 2 mature fighters about 2 years removed from their first fight. That is going to be a great fight.
He's soared since I started, and I don't know where I think he was kind of just starting when I was in his amateur, when I was doing the PKBs, and man, he has just gone exponentially better, winning belt after belt. I mean, it's been cool to watch him and his progression.
He's mature, man.
He's a great guy. He's a really good, solid dude. He's a good father. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I'm sure there's
Definitely
guys, coach, that you
him.
have in your team that you're like, you kind of wish they took it a little more serious. They could be really good. And Jairus is one of those guys that he's athletic. He's kind of got everything you want, but he's very serious. Like,
now I know Jairus. Jairus was a friend of my brother, and I know Jairus is a very accomplished musician.
The drummer.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And like you said, he's a very solid guy, great dad. Also, Jairus got a late start in Muay Thai. He's an older A-level amateur, and like you said, he has excelled. Jairus had some traditional martial art training before Muay Thai, and his kicking, his speed in devastating strikes definitely stick out. So I'm expecting a lot from Jairus. Also, was their first fight at 130?
It was at 142.
Right. So I remember Jairus used to be heavier. And then, again, him taking it so seriously, we saw him really reach a professional fighting weight. And at Jairus, in shape at 130, that's going to be something to see. I know Alex is a WBC athlete.
Yep.
He's competed in some of the international games.
He's fought in Thailand and Mexico. Yeah. He's got a lot of experience.
So that's a really good high-level A-class amateur fight for the vacant 130, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they'll be battling it out. 5 rounds. Let's
5
go.
rounds, and they've got about 20 fights between the two of them. They only have a couple losses each. So these guys don't really know how to lose. And Alex having that one win over Jairus, like, does he come in with confidence or does Jairus come in with that chip on his shoulder? We're going to see. 130-pound title, it's on the line.
That's a pro fight. They're just not making any money.
There you go.
Like you've said before.
Yeah.
And then now we'll get to our super fight, bout 8. Mike Rossi, he trains with Sit Donsai as well and out of his own camp, Wig Camp. He's fighting Quinn Wilson from Fightcraft, Coach Patrick Yanez's school. And it's a fight that a lot of people, when I posted it, they went crazy over it. One, everybody knows Wig, right? Everybody knows Wig. But on the last show that we were on, the All Out show, Quinn went out there and looked amazing. He fought on the same card. And he's a kid that's has a little bit of momentum. I've kind of seen him in the development scene too. He's a coach at Fightcraft. He's going to definitely test Mike. And not just test him. This has been, 4 years since Mike has fought. Rising Stars is a big stage to have to come back to. So we're going to see, I think, the best version of Mike fighting the best version of Quinn.
Mike I met in L.A. I was training Alyssa Gomez, and we chased a fight. Ryan Hodges put on a fight down there in L.A., and Mike stood out on the card. He had a crazy left leg style, which I prefer. And I remember I noticed his intensity, that left leg, and just put on a great show. So afterwards, I was like, bro, sick. I'm a fan, you know. And he was like, oh, I was spamming the left leg because my right leg was injured, you know. But also, I know Mike because he used to come up here and spar with Berto a little bit. And so I've kind of been watching him. He was working for Valor and kind of moving around. He was in Lodi with the Ironside guys, and now he's on his own. But Mike is kind of a mystery. Like, who's his original gym?
I remember. Yeah, I don't know about original.
Is he from the Bay?
He's from the Bay. I remember he trained a little bit with, if you know Ryan Roy.
I don't.
So he's one of the old school Fairtex guys. He was with Ryan Roy for a bit. Then he went over with Linda from Dequat. And then I think he transitioned. I think her gym was closing down at the time. He went over with Rudy to Smash Gyms. And that's when he moved up here.
I see. Well, you can tell he's extremely experienced, and he's living the life. You know, he's all in. So I'm sure.
And he just loves Muay Thai, man.
That's what I'm saying.
He's kind of one of those. He's a be jolly athlete. He's kind of like Brett. He's just, you talk to him, and he's just so full of like enthusiasm, you know. So I'm excited to have him on the card again. We couldn't give him an easy one though, so he's gonna get tested. That's a fun one though. And again, no title on the line on that one. Just a super fight, just the fight that a lot of people wanted to watch.
Okay.
And then bout 9, following that up, we're gonna have a junior title fight at 118 pounds. Both of these boys have fought for us before at like 108 pounds. Hit that little growth spurt, and Ronoa is the defending champion at 108 pounds. I think we can probably say he vacates that coming up to 118. He's fighting Dylan Fonseca, and Dylan is from Maish. We have a few of the Maish team fighters on here, and that's a great fight. We've seen Ronoa from the 8-limb school. Great fighter.
Young, talented fighter.
Also has that like Taekwondo style, that in and out style. I seen somewhere that one of his first Taekwondo coaches was Luis Saravia, who's on the card.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, I had no idea until after we booked these, but
Teacher and student going to fight on the same
Crazy,
Muay
right?
Thai card.
Oh, that's cool.
And but Dylan is a little firecracker too, man. He just fought today. I just found out he fought on the WBC show, and he just won.
What?
He just won.
Well, lucky, because is that legal? Like when you have a fight set up, isn't it? You're not supposed to fight within 30 days.
I don't know how it works with pads and stuff with the kids, but no, I don't
At
think.
least he won.
No, well, is it legal? Maybe legal. Is it like frowned upon?
It's bad business.
Yeah,
frowned upon.
right.
I didn't know until today, and I was like, man, I hope this kid doesn't get hurt. But no, he did great. He ended up winning, dropped his opponent with a knee, and then ended up winning on points. Maybe just a warm-up before Ronoa, you know? So that's going to be a great fight. Ronoa, man, we've seen so many ticket sales coming in for this kid, and it's going to be hard being Dylan to come into Ronoa's house and seeing that many people, listening to that many people.
Yeah,
but
he's a popular fighter.
But then again, right, he just fought today in L.A. against someone from L.A. So is he just used to it? You know? We'll see.
Noah,
Fun fight.
Noah, I know Noah's dad.
Lance.
It's
the homie.
The big homie.
Iron Buddha.
Yeah, and another Muay Media. But you know what? When I was during COVID, when I was doing some industrial shipping and receiving, he would drop some stuff off. He's in trucking business.
Oh, okay.
And he would come in and he's like, I know you. I'm like, oh yeah, from Muay Thai. He's like, yeah, my son's a fighter at Muay Thai Lao. You know, Noah, and but he knew me as a coach from the scene. And, you know, I was back there running forklifts. He's like, what the hell are you doing back here? You know? And I remember Noah lighter when he won the first belt. Also, Noah came up here to get a little work with the Teenage Mafia because me and Dad knew each other and Berto. So I got to kind of see him move around in a sparring situation. And like you say, outside kicker, coming from a Taekwondo background, he won the belt for Rising Stars. And then there was a big hiatus. He hadn't fought for a while. And then I saw him at the PMT in Roseville, and he had gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Also, I kept a close eye on him on the mat. He fought one of your guys, and it was an amazing teenage battle. But I was watching Noah's Muay Thai development, and he has gotten a lot better. His clinch, his defensive clinch, you know, you can't run and gun all day. You're going to reach the end of the mat, and he's been doing a great job there as well, setting traps and intercepting. And really, I have to give credit to that whole camp. It seems like the whole camp Noah's training out of. They're producing a lot of high-level fighters. So it's not just one guy. You know, those guys are putting in the work. Like you said, you were just over there sparring with those guys. We got to see Joseph win the belt and go down right like a week after and win the all-out belt.
Yeah. What a talent that kid's been. Like he fought on the first Rising Stars show. The second Rising Star show is his debut.
Who's this?
And Joseph Vaduya.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And a little bit bloodied up, lost a split decision,
He's
but
great.
look at him
He's
now.
fun.
Yeah.
Look at him now.
And just, again, the rise in skill, that comes from what's happening in the gym, the coaching and the other supporting teammates in the gym, you know, giving back to these younger guys. And it's being spread all over that camp. Muay Thai Lao coming up.
Yep. All right, now I will make my prediction for fight of the night. So you can't steal this one from me. About 10, we have a title fight. This is for the IKF Northern California light middleweight title. We have Joshua Berdillos from American Top Team Tracy, Coach Shannon Albrecht. And he's fighting Jacob Bolaños from Belmont Muay Thai. Trains out of Bay Area Boxing with Philip Mendoza. These guys have, I think Jacob, this is his third Rising Stars in a row. And then Joshua's fought for us a couple times as well. So these guys have kind of been built on the Rising Stars platform, and we get to see him go at it now at 155. Well, it'll be 155 pounds agreed upon, but they're fighting for the IKF light middleweight title. That's a banger.
And what happened with the original matchup?
This has always been the original matchup. But it was a 3-rounder.
Bolaños is hard to miss. He's got a really impressive tattoo on his chest, and
that guy, yes, yeah, with the goatee,
hard hitter,
yes,
hard hitter.
And Belmont Muay Thai. You know what? I was living right. My wife used to work in Belmont. You know, very affluent. You know, very very rich
Ritzy
neighborhood.
area.
I didn't even know they had Muay Thai. I would have popped in there, but man, seeing these guys come up on the card, they're the real deal. And that guy Jacob Bolaños, I expect him to bring it. Josh. From American Top Team, he's one of my favorite fighters. You know, watching the Rising Stars shows, and I've gotten a pleasure of calling some of his fights. Coach Albright over there, another gym that's really shining, and he's always produced good fighters, but it seems like the last couple of years, the fighters have been just incredibly fit, skilled, not only on the outside but the inside, and Josh is one of those. First 5-rounder.
I think both of these guys first 5-rounder.
Because the last fight I saw
and no
Josh
shin pads.
was padded in 3 rounds. So this time for the strap on the big stage, no pads, 5 rounds. But you know what? I think both of these guys are ready.
Yeah.
You know, they look the skill level. Those fights they had before, they could have fought without pads. So.
Well, Jacob is the one that you remember. He cut his opponent up with the elbow. He fought with he fought with no shin pads the last fight.
Yeah, but that's a killer matchup, and you're right. Things go well. Fight of the night, sure.
And these guys are going to have a bright future no matter what happens, win or loss. Both these guys will be back on the show and killing it, you know. I actually, the last event, the day before, I was cornering Billy up at the A1 show, and I found out that Denny Castillo, who was also cornering with me, that's Jacob Bolaños' like brother, like half brother. And he was telling me, he was like, yeah, what's up, man? My brother says take a photo with you or whatever because, you know, I'm going to be at your show tomorrow. So who's your brother? Like, I don't have any Castillos fighting. And he showed me, it was Jacob. And he was like, bro, this guy's been, I guess, doing like Taekwondo since he was a kid, Jacob. And he's like, took a lot of time off. He's like, but he was fucking amazing at it when he was a young guy. He's like, and now he's taking up Muay Thai and he's killing it.
Interesting because his style, he has such an aggressive forward style. It doesn't seem like Taekwondo.
But you've seen the Rolling Thunders he's thrown in there, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you look, you know, close enough, you can definitely
He kind
tell.
of kicks like Alec Fitzpatrick.
Sure.
Real like snappy Taekwondo kick, but like still like a pressure fighter.
I noticed that from the American Top Team, too. It's like their kicks are very snappy, almost like Taekwondo background. I don't know how much of it they train, but their boxing is really complementary to their kicks. And like you said, the inside fighting has gotten a lot better from them as well. But I see them, they're fast kickers, but their boxing is like Joshua's boxing is amazing.
It's always interesting when you have these style matchups, and both of them are really strong athletes. But when they're both strong, then what? It
Right.
goes back to technique, strategy, timing. So
Endurance.
it's going to be interesting. Well, the coaches in the corner are setting the strategy, right? And who's going to press and who's going to play defense. And yeah, Josh has a very flowy timing style from what I see. And Bolanos is crashing and explosive. So on the night of the fight, 5 rounds, that's going to be an interesting one to watch play out.
And I could be wrong, right? There's so many good fights. Maybe it's not fight of the night because there's other ones, right?
Maybe
Like-
just one fight just comes out in elbow war. We
Like
don't
this,
know.
this next one, about 11. Isaiah Bryant, we got him a replacement. He's a talented fighter, gold medalist for Team USA at the WBC Pan American Games a couple years back. He's from CMA, Coach Dave Engel, Joe Chernay. And he's fighting Christian Zoller he's from Chino, California, from the Vital Force team. And Coach Lee has done a great job with him. Man, he just won the Legends title, like, yesterday. And they hit me up because I put that post up saying I need somebody. And his coach was like, hey, man, I think he's game. He feels good. He wants to do it. And so I just kind of went back and forth. And within like 15 minutes, it was buttoned up and photo was sent. And
Damn.
so, you know, he's coming in with the chip on his shoulder. He just won a belt from NorCal. He's going back to SoCal with it. He's going to come back up here and try to take this red belt back with him. We'll see if Isaiah lets him, you know.
I'm glad you found someone. That's a tough, we were talking about it, that's a tough weight class to find the A-class athletes in. And Vital Force, we're familiar. Berto has fought in their super heavyweight. We just fought him up in Tahoe and in smaller camp, but they're putting all their energy into their prime fighters. And I believe this is the coach's son, right?
I'm not sure. I know he has Malachi as his son. So this might be somebody else. But his son is amazing, too. I just seen him fight at the All Out show.
Yeah, he's dangerous. And, these smaller camp, just because the camp is smaller doesn't mean they're not going to produce great fighters. Sometimes the bigger gyms, because the athletes aren't getting their attention, aren't as strong. Yep. So they're kind of more of an old school program, and these guys come to fight.
But this is going to be a great fight, and the standing champion at that one, and I don't know. I'm not calling this an interim title. I think Zach has to come back and beat one of these guys to get his title back.
When's the last time Zach's fought?
He fought. He had some injuries, so he couldn't defend it. Him versus Zay was supposed to happen a couple times, and then he had some wrist injuries, and then he just came back and fought. I think it was like a month ago, and then he got suspended. And it's like, it kind of sucks, but it's like, we had this one scheduled, and then you get suspended while you're scheduled. I can't do that many favors, you know. But I love Zach. You know,
What was the suspension for?
Just I think it was a TKO, and he didn't get hurt or nothing, but just the commission will suspend you. You can't compete.
Right.
And so it just sucks. You know, that Isaiah actually stepped in because Zach's original opponent got hurt. So he's already doing us a favor, and then we had to pull that fight from Zay. And so now I'm glad that we got Christian as a replacement, which is a great fight. Again, he just fought. He's in shape. Isaiah's been training like he had a match the whole time. And, the winner of this one, you know, Zach's got first in line. He'll get his belt back, and if he wins, we'll see.
But that's why you don't take a fight. When you're committed to a fight, you don't take another fight.
Well, that's exactly what you were just saying.
Right in front of the one you're already committed to, because it's not basketball. There's a high chance you might get split.
Even if you win, right?
Even if you win. I mean, even just a bump on the shin, you know, because these guys are, you know, they're not fighting with pads. They're experienced fighters. So, you know, just checking a leg kick could really put you out on that next fight 4 weeks later. And there's no way that bump's going to heal, and you're going to be timid to want to use that kick, that leg, that check it, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we just saw that with Sai. You know, Sai had, you know, he ended up taking a fight like right after he fought the blonde-headed dude, and then a week later,
Kate Albrecht, Coach Shannon Albrecht's son. It's not just a blonde guy.
well,
It's a great match.
And that was like a heated battle between the two of those guys. You know, I heard a little bit about the drama there, but then he had to turn around and go and fight some other dude, and the guy knew where he had been injured and clearly hunted for that shot on his right rib or something.
His liver.
His liver, yeah. So
now who knows how that was set up, but I think Cy had the cage fight set up for a while. And I think the fight down south it materialized, and that was the legit fight. That was a super high-level fight, and what happened. But to go the very next weekend and fight, is that even legal? I know it was on Indian ground, but when you get stopped, it's at least a 30-day suspension, and you got to check in with a doctor that has to clear you to fight again. So I'm not sure how that worked, but we saw how it played out, and that's why they have those rules.
And
carrying an injury
as
going
a
right
former
in.
fighter, it's like as a former fighter, I respect that. I respect that he committed and he did what he committed to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as a coach, maybe as a friend from the outside, I'm like, man, maybe not the best idea, but there's people pulling out for way less reasons. Sure. And this guy, as a man, he committed to something and he went through and fuck the outcome. He did it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a warrior, dude.
But I want to
see.
I want to see Cy at 100% in that
True.
match, especially with the MMA gloves on. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
And to come off a body knockout like that.
Dude, I was struggling with the stream. We were over it was 420, so we were it was the day before, but anyways, we were hanging out with the buddies. We were all in Carlos's garage and we're streaming it up there. I'm fumbling around to get it on, and I finally get it on, and it's the dude gets his hand raised, and I'm like, it just started because I had it started and then it cut off, and then I got it loaded back up, and I was
that
no,
guy was
happened in like a minute.
Marcos. That's an old teammate of mine, and so I knew going into that fight it was gonna be rough, and they kind of know him. He's fought against their camp before, and this guy is. They say killer instinct. Marcos is killer instinct. Like all he knows is to go forward and hunt. And when I seen what had happened to Cy the week before, I'm like, man, probably not the best idea. But it is what it is. I think Cy will be back. He'll bounce back
for sure.
He's a true professional. He'll be back.
No doubt about that. I think it'll only just propel him, and he's got the mindset, and I think just that's not going to put him back.
You think we were done, bro? We got fucking about 12.
Let's go.
Yeah,
we got
one,
a
right?
dual title match. It's for the 150 pounds Rising Stars title.
This is going to be
because I put my titles in the middle of the main weight classes. I go every 5 pounds, kind of like USMTO. There's guys that kind of will sit in between weight classes, so we give everybody a chance. And this is a big one, right? 150-pound Rising Stars title. Juan's defending that. But then they're also fighting for the IKF West Coast Super Welterweight title, the vacant title. The last holding champ for that one was Arian Esparza, who is now a pro in Thailand. So as he vacates that, these boys are fighting for it. Juan Andrade, Richmond, California, 14-1. 14-1. His only loss to Kevin Cummings. Everybody else, he's kind of ran through, He's fighting out of Master Cheetahs in Chayo.
And wasn't that on the A1 or one of the A1 cards?
No, but I remember when they fought the Kevin versus Juan. That was a kickboxing rules fight for some reason, and it was a 3-rounder.
You know what? They don't even know why.
It was on Legends.
Yeah, I asked both of those guys, and they don't even know why that was booked that way.
Well, they tried to do that shit on your card too.
Yeah, and I don't know. Legends has traditionally been a Muay Thai show. I was always asking the question, where's the push for kickboxing rules fights coming from? It's not coming from the Muay Thai community. Also, these guys are 2 Muay Thai fighters. It's great that they're game to match up with those rules, but we would have liked to see that with, Muay Thai rules in 5 rounds. These guys are pro level.
And Juan, man, amazing fighter. He just won the title at the last event.
I mean, dude, that was a badass fight.
Not badass fight.
It was a great fight. He didn't walk through. It was a tough fight. And
all these guys are badass.
Yeah.
Man. And he's fighting another badass, Carlos Cardoso from Reno. 7 wins, 5 losses, but he's been around for a long time. One of the coaches at Hard Times Muay Thai. Tall fighter, 6'1". And again, Hard Times Muay Thai, Brendan Mishler, they've been on a tear lately. That team has gotten so much better. And I don't want to make it seem like it's personal because it's not, but they wanted this fight. They hit me up the last show. They were like, yo, 150. Like, we're kind of in between weight classes. We love that weight. Carlos wants to fight the winner of that match. And I didn't know what I was going to do with Juan, right? Because obviously him and Kevin was going to be the one. Kevin goes to Thailand, so that's not going to happen. And I remember, you know what? This kid wanted to fight him. Let's put them together. And that's a banger fight, man. We're calling that one our main event. We're putting 2 titles on it. That's going to be our main event of the main card.
So Reno, the tough town of Reno and Reno City Kickboxing, and you're right. They've been looking extremely strong at the shows.
Hard Times Muay Thai.
Not Reno City.
No, it's Hard Times.
Hard Times.
Yeah, they kind of rebranded a little bit. Hard Times Muay Thai.
I see.
Yeah,
Same
team.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
team.
And I believe Carlos fought Kevin on Rising Stars 1.
Yep.
So very experienced, and like you say,
and
tall.
Juan fought on Rising Stars 1 as well. He fought against Mark King from the Sittong Sai camp.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Now, Juan's an interesting one because he's one of our local fighters that has gone and fought in Thailand, and I believe Raja. And he's one of our elite amateurs. I mean, other than that one loss, he would be undefeated. I also know Juan is a career martial artist. He came from traditional martial arts as a black belt and then has moved into Muay Thai. And you see the physique. You see the perfection of his craft. Also, the stint that he did last year in Thailand, I was communicating with him because he was at Sitmanchai. So I was giving him the little 411 on, the trainers and kind of the culture at Sitmanchai. But coming back and watching him on Rising Stars, he's gotten better. Even though he's been in the sport for I don't know how many years, and in martial arts since he was a boy, he leveled up. He's gotten better. So that should be a really, really exciting one as your main event.
Yeah, and he's very mature too. He's not a young guy, like not a super young kid, but he's very mature as a martial artist. He takes it very serious. But so does Carlos. I seen, he's over there helping coach those guys. He's a great cornerman too. I was sitting ringside last time for the event, and he was cornering some of those guys that competed. A great cornerman, Carlos. So we're going to see that IQ play out against Juan.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's going to be important. Again, when you got 2 elite level fighters, these Nak Muay bring so many weapons. We're going to see what strategy they field and how that's going to play out. Juan looking so explosive. Watch out for the knockout.
Rising Stars 10, they're going to bring it. They're going to want to show out. I've already made my pick for fight of the night, so they're all going to try to prove me wrong. But, man, we're looking at a great fight card. Like always. Don't I do such a good job matching these fights, man? Come on. Give me some credit, Justin.
Well,
Matchmaker of the year.
You didn't put any of our guys on this show. So I do gotta mention that. But
I tried.
Water under the bridge. We'll move on to the next one.
I tried, man. I did my best. And
they just wanted
I'm
Justin.
Just fucking with you.
They just wanted Justin and Carlos.
Yep.
And I told them they're not available.
Did you really? That was who you asked
That's
for?
all. No, not me. There's fighters calling you guys out. But
Oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I know. I guess I should give.
you got to get back in the gym, man.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to another great fight card. I know I talk a lot of shit saying, the matchmaking, but I'm looking forward to the improvement from all these fighters. Looking forward to crowning new champions, and I really want to see where everybody's going. I want to be the platform to make these fighters grow, and then the platform to piss the other promoters off to make them do a better job.
Yeah.
I love that strategy. That's America.
I'm really looking forward to just getting back together with the Muay Thai community.
That's always
all
fun,
the
too.
homies.
It's so much fun going to these Rising Stars events, man. It really is something to look forward to.
See all the friends, all the students from the gym coming to the show and having a good time.
And having a Muay Especial, the new beers we got coming out, the Mexican lager with lime, the micheladas we're going to be making at the show. Man, if the fights aren't enough, come for the beer. I
I even get to see the people that don't like me. And we'll high five and and do all that stuff. But then we got to do the michelada.
And,
we got to We got to try the new Muay
sure.
Especial.
Who's the food trucks coming? Because I got a recommendation. Not that you probably too late now. I'm sure.
Well, you got to talk to Ryan over there at Track 7. But they
he's
have
the guy who puts them up.
Well, they have their their little group of trucks that they pick.
Sure.
So we have Maíz Mexican food, and then we have Stack and Cream hamburger joint.
Mm.
And then we have
Senor Burger.
We have
Have you ever had that place?
I haven't, but that's
man, Senor Burger.
recommended to Ryan
It's
and
the smash burgers
and Alex over there. And then,
okay. We got media
We're getting
team
called
over here
off.
telling us we're reaching that 2-hour point. I think we're just scheduled for 1, but
We're going to have the pay-per-view broadcast available. I urge you guys, fighters and people in the community, support the pay-per-view. And, people that aren't coming down to the fights, tune in, check out the fights on the broadcast. And that helps continue to make the broadcast possible. Also, sponsors. We're looking for sponsors always to get involved with the Sacramento Muay Thai community and do advertising through MuayTV, Rising Stars, and really use this really good, massive platform on social media that we've built to advertise your companies.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way to promote. And then, if you guys have, instead of doing holiday parties, bring your clients and bring your employees. And show them a good time over here. It's a great way to also advertise and show your company's name and bring your employees, bring some clients. It's a professional event. It's a great time. So
forget Topgolf, forget the axe throwing place.
Nobody wants to do that. Shit.
Bring the company and
No
the
doubt.
top selling managers to Rising Stars.
It's a power move. I mean, bring your client to a fight. I mean, it's an old school
sit them ringside. Come on, everybody can see you.
Come on.
I tell people our Instagram, it gets, and I've showed my brothers, we get up to 1 million interactions a month around the event, which is crazy because we're, it's a small Instagram. But imagine as we grow, come on, sponsor us, help us out, and so we can keep helping these fighters out.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yep. We didn't get into it, but and we're short on time, but you got a junior show coming up.
Yeah, Rising Stars 11. Again, we're already planning that one. I already got my main event title fight for that one. I won't say who I got. You guys will have to wait and see. Talented kid, one of our defending champions. We have an all kids and teen show.
And what's
teens up to 19 years old? That's going to be the cutoff, and 8 years old is the lowest. They're going to get the Rising Stars treatment. We're doing everything for them. That'll be at the Elks.
Can I guess?
No. I'm not. I wouldn't tell you.
Also, is the
No,
opponent?
you can't even guess.
Is the opponent from out of state?
No, the opponent the opponent actually challenged him. The opponent is 7 wins, 1 loss. Another one of our champions going up in weight. Hey, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say too much. Just tune in. That teens card. Look, Rising Stars 10 is here. I'm excited, but I want to say I'm even more excited for the kids.
That's a really cool promotion that you're also putting on. I love that idea. I can't wait to hear more about it. We should have you back on and talk about that.
Let's just go for hour 3.
But yeah, the teens, so important, right? We've talked about it. The teens are investment into the future of Muay Thai.
Absolutely.
Because what's the sport going to look like in 5 years? I've been thinking about this. We haven't done a podcast in a while, but I have a lot of things that I've been writing about, and that's one of them. And even at the highest level, what's ONE FC going to look like in 5 years as far as...
We got the Olympics coming up, and that's going to have Muay Thai in it.
Well, I'm just talking about the athletes, the high-skilled athletes. And again, at the highest level, how long can the master representatives from Thailand fight? Who's going to replace those guys when those guys retire? And just like on our local shows, you have the adult fighters, but in 5 years, when those guys are working for Chevy, who's going to be the main event fighters? And it's going to come out of the teenage pool.
Yep.
And we're investing, and we're excited. The PMT and the development leagues are flooded with talent. And, I mean, these kids have 10-plus fights. And, I mean, they're mat fights, but they have that much experience. And they're just itching to get on the Rising Stars show.
I posted about the Rising Stars 11.
That's going to keep them growing.
I have 100 submissions in 3 days.
Let's go.
Of just kids and teens. That show's going to be bonkers.
But that's money in the bank, and that's a big part of what's gonna happen. What Muay Thai is gonna look like in 5 years.
Yeah, looking forward to that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and these kids, some of them have more fights than the adults. They're fighting 10 times a year on the mat, and just fighting on the mat, you can only do so much. You know, it almost stifles these youngsters' ability. Like they could go to Thailand and be fighting in the ring easily.
Yeah.
And to have a platform like that that's going to focus on that, it's just going to bolster and continue to help them grow.
And what about, and like you got the development leagues, and then you kind of get the kids who are better, more experienced prodigies, prospects, and now they have their own show that's dedicated just to the kids. I think that's pretty cool,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that show.
Parents are going to be going nuts at that one.
We should live stream that one because I feel like that would be a huge hit. Who doesn't want to see their kid? That the people are going to want to see the kids,
Well,
grandparents, uncles, aunts.
Not
all
to
around.
keep talking, Chris, my bad. But it's like that started off as a passion project. Like, I don't care. Like, me, I'm not caring about how much money we're making off these kids. I'm just like, whatever. I'll do a show and then we'll see if it works. I just want to give the kids, like, we only have one teens fight on 10, so I got to give the kids a platform where I can focus on them.
Mm-hmm.
That show, since I've announced it, has gotten more buzz than any other show.
Sure.
Not only from the participants, but people are like, bro, when do the tickets drop?
Fuck yeah.
And so we're not even there yet. We're still so far out, but that's going to be a great show, man.
Yes, looking forward to the Team Yad Muay Rising Stars 11.
Well, guys, make sure to show up Track 7 May 3rd. Come see Rising Stars Muay Thai 10. And if you can't make it, hit the live stream. It's going to be on akaizo.com. We'll have links and all that stuff on our social media, on Rising Stars, MuayTV. So check it out. Make sure to be there or on the live stream. And thanks for tuning in to the pre-show for Rising Stars Muay Thai 10. We'll see you there.